Welcome to the Families of Character Show. I'm your host, Jordan Langdon, and as a wife, mom, and licensed clinical social worker, you get practical parenting stories, research-based parenting solutions, and most of all, support. Lean in and let yourself be inspired and reminded of the gifts you have as a parent. Let's jump right in. Hey parents, you know how family life can just be like blowing by, and next thing you know, someone asks you how it's going and you're like, it's hard. And then you start listing off all the challenges you've been experiencing. Sounds like this. Joey's had 11 bladder infections this year. And you know what? We just finally realized what's been causing it. And John's considering changing jobs now. I'm trying to potty train our 3-year-old daughter, and every time she needs to poop, she can't because she's terrified she's losing a part of her body. And it seems like my kids are always fighting. It's really rough. Parents, can you relate? It's not just your family. Every family has a load of daily challenges that pop up in family life. And it's really, really common to get bogged down in those. And then all of a sudden, your experiences have colored your view of your marriage and parenting and family life in general in some really dark shades. So in the midst of the chaos and those negative ruts we can get ourselves into, how can we notice the meaningful family moments so we don't stay stuck in the negativity and the struggle? I'll tell you that over the past 20 years of doing counseling with people, I've continued to use this one same technique with numerous clients, and I use it myself on a daily basis, multiple times in a day. And it's really quite simple. All you need is yourself, which is great news. There's no special tools or app on your phone or, no worksheet you need to have handy, literally just yourself. I'll tell you, I think, when it comes to memorable moments, one of the earliest memorable moments I have as a mom is when my kids were newborn babies. Some of my most vivid memories I have of them is when I would be feeding them. And if I was at home, I would take them into their bedroom where the glider rocker was and just close the door and allow myself to be fully present in the moment. And this would happen even if we had people over to the house. It was like I just stepped away and gave myself permission to just be fully present with my baby. And what I remember is the way that my babies looked in just their little white diaper. Like I have a vivid image of that right now. And I remember their thin, soft peach fuzz skin against my skin. And then their long fingers and how they would stretch them out and then make them into a fist. And then their hands would turn red and their little knuckles would whiten because their fist was so tight. And I remember the color of the bedroom. It was a really soft, like soothing green. And I remember the white noise machine going and the unique, sweet smell of my baby's skin. And I remember just like chewing on their cheeks when I kissed them, just gobbling them up, just, you just smell so good, just favorite baby, right? And I remember these details about those moments, not because anyone, popped into the room and took a picture of this moment, which I think we can get hung up on these days, like capture a moment with a picture or with a photo, take a picture of this so I can remember. No, the reason I remember is because I practiced this technique of allowing myself to tune into my senses, right? The senses that we were given at birth. And when my babies were little, I'd been teaching clients how to do this. And so anytime I got the chance, I would do the technique myself to soak in a memorable family moment and just really put that in my mind in a full and beautiful way. And you know what? You can do this too. Really where it starts is with the intention to do what I call go on the hunt for a memorable family moment. So I want you to first think about, what does it mean to go hunting? What does it mean when someone says they are, going on a hunt? It means they are searching specifically for someone or something. They're setting out with something specific in mind, like hunting a deer or hunting for a job, a specific job, or hunting for a specific fugitive that's maybe on the loose. As parents, it is crucial in order to notice these memorable family moments, these meaningful moments that are happening in our day-to-day lives that normally we don't notice. It's crucial that we set out to go on the hunt for those. I'll tell you what happens when we don't. When we aren't intentional about looking for these memorable moments, what happens in our brain is that our mind starts playing tricks on us. And we start noticing little thoughts like, you know what, my life is full of problems. Parenting is too hard. When will things ever get better? You know what? I'm just not cut out for this. So parents, over time, these persistent negative thoughts lead to an overall negative judgment of your marriage and your idea of parenting and your idea of family life. And then your motivation continues to just dwindle and go away. And all of a sudden, you have no motivation to really engage your spouse and your kids from a place of love and excitement and forgiveness. All of a sudden, you feel like a hardened, calloused, negative mom or dad that's just ready to accept and kind of settle in and just say, you know what, this is how it is. You start just settling for the status quo, that this must just be my lot in life as a parent. For the next 18 years, it's just gonna stink. And that, my friends, is a lie. And it's a lie that if we believe can tear our families apart in no time. So I want to give you some hope. I once heard somebody say this about parenting, and I love it. They said, the hard moments outnumber the good moments, but the good moments outweigh the hard moments. Now I'm going to repeat that. Let it settle in for you. The hard moments outnumber the good moments, but the good moments outweigh the hard moments. Guys, going on the hunt for the good moments of each day helps you store in your memory those newborn baby feeding moments, those flashes of harmony when your kids are doing something ordinary and getting along so well. It helps you capture that yummy s'more you ate with your kids around the backyard campfire. So it's really simple. First, you just start your day with a commitment that you're going on the hunt for memorable moments. Your mission is to find memorable moments throughout your day. Second, you're going to think of your 5 senses as your weapon or your tactical gear that you're going to use to get what you're looking for. Remember, you're going out to hunt a deer. You don't leave your gun at home. You always have your gun handy and ready. And that's what our 5 senses are. They are all ready. We don't have to remember to bring something along with us each day. They're inside of us. We have been given the gifts of sight and smell and taste and hearing. Okay. And this is what we need to use to help us find these memorable moments that are there. And then third, you're just going to watch for memorable moments with a sense of readiness and curiosity. Like you're waiting for it to happen. And when you're around your spouse or your kids and you notice a bit of peace at that moment, that's when you know you've spotted the beginning of a memorable moment. And that's when you're going to engage your weapon or engage that gear that you have within you. You're just going to start at the top of your body with your eyes. So what do I see right now in the moment? And you're going to allow yourself to look around and notice details about things that you can see. And then what can I hear? Your ears next, right? What sounds are happening right now in this moment? What's the level of the sound? And then what do I smell? Are there any particular scents in the air right now? And then can I taste anything in particular right now? And then you want to ask yourself, what do I feel with my hands or my feet? Or what can I feel on my body? If you activate your 5 senses, you tune your attention to what is already happening inside your body, your senses, and then allow yourself to name what it is that you notice, you will enter into a space where you can hold on to that memorable moment and store it in memory. So I'll give you an example. The other day, I was out riding bikes with my 9 and 11-year-old, and all of a sudden, I just noticed this subtle thought that whispered, "Oh, this is nice. This feels good to be outside with them." It was like sighting in the deer, right? At that moment, I saw in my vision right ahead of me one of those memorable moments. And I thought, you know what? I can capture this. I'm on a hunt. I've got my gear. I've got my weapon, and I'm going to capture this memorable moment. I don't have to just watch it run away and think about my to-do list at home or the groceries that I still need to get at the store when we're done with our bike ride. But I thought, you know what? This is one of those where I have to go in and capture the moment. I can use my senses and really fully participate in this moment, and then take this memory home with me and hang it over the fireplace of my mind so that I can look at it again later and admire this memory. So what I did was I just really tuned into my senses, and I started noticing their hair blowing in the wind and the sweet sound of their little voices as they were talking to each other. And then I noticed that warm feeling of the sun on my arms. And I was able to capture the image of this bird that was flying by, and then the bridge in the distance. And then I noticed the smell of freshly cut grass as we rode through this neighborhood. And so by engaging my senses, I noticed the harmony that was happening between the 3 of us. And it brought me great joy and peace in that moment. Now, I don't know how long that moment lasted, but as I recall it, it was like endless, like it went on for 30 minutes. I'm sure it was more like 1 to 2 minutes that I spent there. But man, that overshadowed any of the other challenges that we had experienced that day and helped me look at the satisfaction of my day and my kids and my family life in such a different way, just because of that. Now listen, if this is new to you, you haven't heard people talk about engaging your senses or activating and tuning into your senses, there are tons of books you can check out and videos you can watch if you want. But don't make this difficult. Like most often, the things that work best for us are super, super simple. We just have to use them and accept the simplicity in these coping methods. So again, what you're going to do is notice when there's a little moment of peace happening, and then simply press pause and tune into your senses in that meaningful moment and put some words to it. Describe to yourself what you're experiencing. Absorb, soak in that moment. I used to explain to clients, when you're going through what you see, hear, smell, feel, and taste, put words to what you notice. If you can say it out loud, it's even better. If it's going to interrupt the moment for the whole family, just say the words to yourself inside your mind. But describe the experience like you would if you were telling someone who is blind, right? You're riding your bike with your kids and you're trying to explain to your friend who cannot see the same as you can see. And so you're going to use really descriptive words for them to give the most vivid scene available to them to enjoy. So again, when I was riding bikes with my kids, I just said to myself, look at her long, wavy brown hair blowing past her shoulders from under her helmet. Look at how her toes are pointing out sideways, a little wider than the pedals. Oh, the air smells like grass that must have been freshly cut. I was very specific in labeling what my senses were identifying and experiencing in that moment. And so doing that, engaging your senses does three things. It allows you to really enhance the meaningful moment that otherwise may have just passed right by. And two, it helps code it in your memory, which helps because when you're feeling down and depressed and overwhelmed, or the next day is super challenging, you have the opportunity to go back and your mind tells you, you know what? There's a meaningful moment right around the corner. You don't have to stay upset about this very long, because when you go on the hunt, you find moments that are much better than this, that bring peace and joy to your life. And number three, it allows you to more easily access this same skill in the future because you have muscle memory in your brain around this. So the more you engage your senses, you tell yourself what you're experiencing in all 5 of those sentences and you put words to it. Next time a moment comes where you notice some peace, you're going to engage that same practice again so that you can notice those moments. I want you to just think, the first time you go hunting for a deer or you have to hunt for a job, it might take a really long time to find what you're looking for. But the more you go on the hunt, the easier it is to spot the deer or notice the job description that you're specifically looking for. That's how this is too. The more you use it, the easier it is to get there and find those moments. Parents, this job that we have, this job of parenting, this gift of parenting, it really is hard. And stress and anxiety are so often a mental process that it's driven by your thoughts and your worries, that when you engage your physical senses, it helps to ground you in the present moment by drawing your attention away from your thoughts that get you worried and upset and frustrated into the actual experience. And that's where change happens. That's where you notice going from that negative rut and noticing all the things that are going wrong in your life to looking at your life from a lens of gratitude. So I want you to try this today and teach this to your kids. They can go on the hunt for memorable moments all throughout their day. It's something that you could make into a family challenge. We love doing like 30-day family challenges where we say, okay, this is what we're all going for this month. And so to make going on the hunt for memorable moments your challenge every day, and then being able to share those at bedtime with each other or around the dinner table to say, hey, what memorable moment did you hunt down today? Like, what did you catch? Tell us, right? It takes them from what they're missing or a place of selfishness and ungratefulness or just that, glass half empty kind of mindset to this place where they're curious and so excited about what is coming and what they can tune into that is truly like good and beautiful. And check this out. This is a bonus because if we are going on the hunt for memorable moments and our kids are going on the hunt too, think of how this looks and feels in our home setting. We're going to have more peace back in our families, which means if there's more peace and more harmony in our family, we're going to notice more memorable moments. So it's got this amazing domino effect. So parents, don't let the challenges and chaos of day-to-day family life hold you hostage. Get out there and fight back. Go on the hunt and settle in to notice the beauty in your family that's hiding around every corner. It's there. If you like analogies like this that make it easy to employ helpful coping skills, be sure to grab a copy of our kids' journal called The Best Me I Can Be. It's chock full of analogies like this that really stick for both us and our kids. One of my favorite sayings in the book is called, "It's cool to call yourself out." And this is a phrase that we use to really indicate that, you know what? It's cool to admit when you're wrong and then ask for forgiveness. Like, it's the best thing ever to admit your fault and then apologize and ask for forgiveness. Another one is called see a need, fill a need. That is catchy. My kids say this all the time. Hey, see a need, fill a need. It's all about just noticing when something needs done and then just doing it without being asked. So grab a copy of the journal. It's just $20. So grab one for a gift too, because the parents of your child's friends will love you for it. Trust me. And be sure to sign up if you're not already getting our weekly email newsletters. Each week we send free resources that will help you develop character in your kids without them even realizing it. So go to familiesofcharacter.com and hit the subscribe button to sign up for those emails. And thank you so much for sharing our podcast with other parents in your circles. It really does help when you forward this on to others. So many people have been mentioning the benefits of our show. And so I thank you for helping us spread the message far and wide. Parents, I'll catch you on another episode real soon.